Welcome to week 30, Aims and Values and School Policies. We're going to be looking at 4 questions from the Unit 10 on schools as organisations. They go together quite well and are all about the school's writing aims and values and writing school policies and then how they put them into practice. So let's have a look at the questions. Schools as Orgs 4.1, explain how the ethos, mission, aims and values of an educational setting may be reflected in working practices. And 4.2, identify the ethos, mission, aims and values of your own workplace. These two are going to go together in one piece of work, maybe a poster, and then we'll come on to these two, the ones that start 5.1 and 5.2. So let's read these. 5.1, identify the policies and procedures schools and colleges have relating to A, the staff, B, pupil welfare, C, teaching and learning, D, equality, diversity and inclusion, and E, health, safety and security. Just an identify question, but 5.2, explain. Explain how policies and procedures contribute to quality in education. Okay, let's have a look at the first 2 questions. These are the ones on ethos, mission, aims and values. And I've made a worksheet for you to help you to design a poster. So let's click on that. Here's my worksheet. It's not really a filling in worksheet. It's giving you 2 sections on a poster that you could design. And of course, you could just write an essay for this and not do the poster ICT skills part of this task. So here are the 2 questions again, one explain and one identify. I've set you 2 tasks. Let's have a look at them. So the first one is to go to your own school's website. 4.2 asks you to look at your own workplace, but it just wants you to identify these 4 words. What do they mean and what does your school set out for them? Ethos, mission, aims and value. Quite often when you get to your school website, these 4 words are used interchangeably, they're used together. You might not have a mission, there might be a mission statement or a philosophy or a set of principles. Let's see what we think the 4 words mean. So the ethos is kind of the educational philosophy of the school, and I've put 4 pictures here. This one might be the ethos of a Christian or a Catholic school. Mission. This is usually a short motto or statement. I've got Hogwarts here. Your school might have a little shield or icon or emblem, and it might have 4 words written on it that are the school's mission. Or you might find a school's mission statement, a short piece that describes what the school is about. The aims, then, I've put a target here. What are they aiming for each of the children in the school? And values are often about behaviour. I've put a PSHE, personal, social health and self-health education icon here. What are the values or behaviours that the school is trying to instill in the children? So go to your school website and see what you can find there. I think it might be worth defining the 4 terms, and they're in Louise Burnham on page 10 and 11, and then saying, what does your school use? Do they use these 4 words? Can you find their mission statement and their values? That would be fine. For task number 2, you've got to say, how are they put into practice? The schools have written these things, they've put them up on their school website. Do they actually do them for real? Can you explain how they are put into practice? This one doesn't have to be about your own school, but if you can, you could use your own school information. And I thought a nice way to do this on your poster would be to copy and paste 4 examples. They could relate to the 4 words: ethos, mission, aims and values. Or I went to Bannerman Road School and I found their ethos and values were given together, 5 bullet points. So maybe if I like all 5 of them, I'll do 5 little pictures. And they say things like, every child should enjoy the journey of learning, have an open and inquiring mind, know and be proud of their own skills. So they've got a set of ethos and values, and I'm going to choose one of those here as an example. This is a parents' IT workshop. The year 5 children are teaching their parents or grannies or auntie to use the internet. And I think that's a practical example of children knowing and being proud of their own skills and positive qualities. When I did this workshop with the children, you could really see how pleased they were to be the teacher and teach their parents. So I would explain how this workshop reflects the Bannerman Road ethos and values of know and be proud of their own skills and positive qualities. I could have linked it to this one, achieve the highest levels of literacy, numeracy and information technology, because that workshop again helped the children to really improve their own IT skills. So please, can you define ethos, mission, aims and values using examples from your own school? That could be the first box on your poster, and the second section of your poster, 4 pictures from the website, copy and paste them in, link them to the ethos, mission, aims and values of a school or your own school. And this is an explain question, so then you need to explain how doing this activity in your photo links to one of their aims or values. That's the first piece of work. Oh, look, I've put in a stretching challenge. How do schools communicate these ethos, mission, aims and values to the members of the school community? And I've given you some ideas. If you want an extra section on your poster, you can do this stretching challenge. Let's go back to Moodle and see what help I've put for you. So here are the pages that you might find useful from the Louise Burnham textbook. You'll need to go to your own school website. Then you could use any school. Hannah More is quite good, or Bannerman Road. I've put a link here from the example that I gave you. If you want to put a quote into your poster, you could have a look at the Cambridge Primary Review. It was published in 2009, but it was setting out a vision for the 21st century. So although it's now 11 years out of date, it was the vision for what schools should aim for. And if you go to page 18, you'll find the 12 aims that it set. Okay, let's have a look at the second piece of work that you need to do this week. And it's about school policies and procedures to cover 5.1 and 5.2. So there's a worksheet here for you. Let's have a look at that. Here's the worksheet. It's got that A, B, C, D, E. So I've given you the 4 boxes here to cover those 5 sections. Let's have a look. So the first one is just identify the policies and procedures relating to these 5 areas. If you look on my infographic here, my Wordle, you can, if you really zoom in, you'll be able to see a whole list of school policies. And what you've got to do is sort them. So each box needs to have a list of policies that relate to staff welfare, pupil welfare, teaching and learning, equality, diversity and inclusion, and health, safety and security. So just a list, it's an identify question, put in a list of the policies. You've got to sort these into these sections. The second part, though, is an explain one. Explain how these policies, when the school have written their school policies, how do they contribute to quality in education? So for example, for staff welfare, I've put a suggestion for you here. You could talk about confidentiality. Schools would have to write maybe a confidentiality policy, or they might have a data protection policy. And having the data protection policy written out in full would make staff feel that their personal information that they have to give to the school, their phone number, maybe their bank account details for getting paid, all of that information is being kept securely. And if that's the case, the staff will feel happy and relaxed, and they will be able to deliver a better quality of education to the children. The school retention will be better if the staff feel that their data is being kept securely. Then you need to do the same in each box. A list of the relevant policies. Say how those policies, pick an example. You can't talk about all of them. Here I've put safeguarding or maybe anti-bullying for the children. So you need to P in these boxes. The safeguarding policy will keep children safe, for example, and say how it will lead to better quality education for the children. Next box is about maybe the national curriculum or the early years foundation stage. Next one is equality and diversity. So the SEND policy would be a good one to talk about. Maybe pupil premium or children in care. Health, safety and security. We've mentioned this quite recently, haven't we? You could mention medicines or the school lockdown policy. To give you an idea with this, I've given you a sample answer here from another student. I liked it because she kept it concise and to the point. Let's have a look at this one. So those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes, instead of 2 pages, she has stretched them a bit. They've gone on to 3 pages, but they're not too huge. Let's have a look and see what she's written. So in each box, she's given a list of the relevant policies. She's then given a general example of how they contribute to quality in education, and then she's put something more specific. This one is let's see which one we could talk about. So pupil welfare. She's talked about generally how all these different policies are going to protect pupil welfare. And then I like her example here. She's talking about e-safety, and she's gone to her school's e-safety policy and put in a quote. For example, the key aim is to educate the pupils to take a responsible approach with IT and know how to keep themselves safe whilst online. And what this means then, you could also link that to the anti-bullying policy. Children feel safe in school, the quality of their education will be improved. So have a read of this student's ideas. You'll obviously need to put in your own examples because she's taken them from her school. But I like the way in the second, she's got her list of policies, a general explanation here, and then she's done something specific and put a link to one of her school policies. Actually, this is a link to the Children's Food Trust about getting children to eat better packed lunches. Let's see what I've put here to help you. So I've given you a list of school policies from the government website here. These are the ones that you must have by law. Each school must have these policies, so you could use that list. And then here's the sample answer from that student. So you've got 2 things to send me. First one up here is the ethos, mission, aims and value. Design a poster, or if you would prefer, you could just write, that would be 5 paragraphs. What is the ethos, mission, aims and values from your school? And then give me 4 examples. Or you can do the poster, and then your second piece of work is this one on school policies and procedures. What school policies do they have? How are they put into practice? Fill in the 2 worksheets, send me your answers.